Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your December the 9th just for today in a meditation. I'm still seeing about my father, and I'm grateful to be clean today, to be able to be present. The title of the meditation today is Listening. This ability to listen is a gift and grows as we grow spiritually. Life takes on a new meaning when we open ourselves to this gift. Now that comes from the basic text, page 107. Have you ever watched two small children carrying on a conversation? One will be talking about purple dragons while the other carries on about the discomfort caused by having sand in one's shoes. We sometimes encounter the same communication problems as we learn to listen to others. We may struggle through meetings, trying desperately to hear the person sharing while our minds are busy planning what we will say when it's our turn to speak. In conversation, we may suddenly realize that our answers have nothing to do with the questions we're being asked. They are instead speeches prepared while in the grip of our self-obsession. Learning how to listen, really listen, is a difficult task, but one that's not beyond our reach. We might begin by acknowledging in our replies what our conversational partner is saying. We might ask if there's anything we can do to help when someone expresses a problem. With a little practice, we can find greater freedom from self-obsession and closer contact with the people in our lives. Just for today, I will quiet my own thoughts and listen to what someone else is saying. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Wonderful meditation talking about listening. I really enjoy how it refers to listening being like two children having a conversation. And one is talking about purple dragons and the other one is complaining about sand in their shoes, right? So what does that say? It says that a lot of times what's really going on in reality is not what we're responding to, right? The answers, in other words, the answers that we're coming up with have nothing to do with the questions that we're actually asking, right? And there's that disconnect. And a lot of times the disconnect is not intentional. I do want to say that it's not intentional, but there's still a disconnect in the lack of listening, the lack of good communication skills, which would require to ask questions about the things we think we're hearing and let the person talking actually tell us what they meant before we formulate an opinion. Now, in the asking, that may give the person that's speaking an indication that we haven't heard them correctly. But they don't take offense by it because they understand that we're asking now, I think I heard you say, and repeat what you think you heard them say. They're not going to be offended by that. They're going to add the clarity, the missing pieces to what they've said so that you understand them correctly. And then when you have a full picture of what they're trying to say, because you've done active listening and asked the right questions, you respond to that. And I think that's beautiful. I think that is what communication is supposed to be about. a process of relating back and forth, getting clarity, and deciding how far in agreement you can or cannot go with the person. Right? Just because I've actively listened to you doesn't mean that I agree with you, but I love and care about myself enough as well as you to actively listen to you and give you an opportunity to say what you need to say without cutting you off or making judgment. Today, we're going to practice that. We have to quiet our own thoughts and listen to what someone else is saying. Once we listen to what the other person is saying, we double check with them to make sure that we've heard them correctly. And then we go on to formulate our response. If our response is something that we formulated while they're in the middle of talking, we haven't really listened. And most of us do it. We do it all the time. And that's why a lot of the times the relationships we have aren't healthy because no one is listening and everyone is talking. So today, let's practice that. I know I'm going to. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. Hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose.